From a tiny Seattle shop in 1971 to a global coffee empire with over 30,000 locations, Starbucks has completely changed the way we fuel our caffeine habits. But behind the cozy vibes and that unmistakable green logo is a masterclass in business strategy. Once you see what's really brewing behind the counter, you might just reconsider your next order. The first business tactic that might surprise you: the shocking markup on your daily brew. That fancy $7 latte contains about 65 cents worth of coffee beans, 30 cents of milk, and maybe 15 cents of flavoring. That's barely $1.10 in ingredients. So where's the other $5.90 going? About 30% covers basic store operations: rent, electricity, and those green aprons. Another 15% pays for the baristas making your drink. The remaining 55% flows straight to marketing campaigns, executive bonuses, and shareholder dividends. If you buy a $7 latte every workday, you're spending $1,820 annually. That's a round-trip ticket to Europe or a decent laptop. The pricing strategy is brilliant too. They list drinks at $6.95 because our brains register it as six-something rather than $7. The same way a used car salesman never prices anything at $10,000 but $9,999. The price tag is just the beginning of this coffee conspiracy. Have you considered what's actually in that expensive cup? Well, lots of sugar. A grande vanilla frappuccino contains 68 grams of sugar. That's more than 2 Snickers bars or 16 sugar cubes stacked in a tower. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams daily for women and 36 for men, meaning one drink exceeds your entire day's limit. The marketing brilliance lies in calling these beverages coffee. Most contain just a shot of espresso, drowning in milk, syrup, cream, and toppings. Yet we convince ourselves we're simply having our morning caffeine. What happens to your body after consuming this much sugar? First comes the rush, followed by the infamous crash. Blood sugar spikes, then plummets. Energy soars, then nosedives. The productivity you sought from that coffee, gone within 90 minutes. Studies show that 47% of regular coffee chain customers report feeling more tired 3 hours after consuming sugary coffee drinks compared to those who drink plain coffee. The whipped cream alone adds 100 calories. The caramel drizzle, another 70. The flavored syrup, 80 per pump. And most drinks get 3 pumps. The menu boards highlight words like roast and brew in large letters, while sugar remains mysteriously absent. All those disposable cups filled with liquid dessert aren't just hurting waistlines. They're creating another problem nobody wants to talk about. Those paper cups with the fancy green logo? Not as earth-friendly as advertised. Every year, coffee chains dispose of over 4 billion cups, enough to circle the earth 11 times if placed end to end. Contrary to popular belief, most coffee cups cannot be recycled in standard facilities. The plastic lining that keeps your drink from leaking also prevents the cup from breaking down. Less than 1% actually gets recycled. The rest end up in landfills where they take 20 years to decompose. Coffee shops boast about their 10-cent discount for bringing reusable cups, yet only 1.6% of customers actually take advantage of it. For a $7 drink, that discount is like finding a penny on your couch. Technically money, but not worth bending over for. The greatest irony? Some locations charge extra for sustainability initiatives while continuing to hand out billions of non-recyclable cups. Signs throughout stores proudly announce commitments to reduce waste 30% by 2030. Yet cup production increases 5% annually. The math simply doesn't add up, much like claiming your sugar-filled frappuccino counts as a serving of dairy. While your cup sits in a landfill for the next 2 decades, let's talk about how they keep you coming back for more. Free coffee after 12 purchases sounds great. until you do the math. Loyalty programs work like casino slot machines, random rewards that keep your brain hooked. The house always wins, except casinos at least give you free drinks while they take your money. Those stars you collect? They once got you a free item after 12 purchases. Now, it's 25 stars for plain coffee, 62 for a fancy drink. The program has been enhanced 3 times in 5 years, each time making rewards harder to earn. Coffee shops enhance the way airlines use upgraded experience to describe smaller seats. A study found loyalty members spend 125% more than non-members. The program isn't about rewarding loyalty, it's about increasing spending. Members visit 40% more often and choose size upgrades 63% of the time. Funny how the most loyal customers also happen to be the most profitable. The app even sends perfectly timed nudges. Only 5 more stars until your next reward, turning your coffee habit into a countdown game. And when spending slows, earn 70 bonus stars when you visit 5 days in a row. Translation: spend $35 for a reward worth about 4. While you're busy calculating if your loyalty is mathematically worth it, you might notice something else. Remember when drive-thrus were the fast option? A recent study tracked average coffee drive-thru wait times, increasing from 4 minutes in 2010 to 8 minutes 12 seconds in 2023. Double the wait, same coffee. What changed? Mobile ordering revolutionized the queue, but not in your favor. Each store now handles 3 separate order streams simultaneously: in-store customers, drive-thru orders, and the flood of mobile orders. Many locations receive over 120 mobile orders during morning rush hour alone. The system isn't designed for efficiency, it's designed for volume. Stores generate 30% more revenue with longer lines because people are less likely to leave once they've committed to waiting. The industry term is queue commitment threshold. After 3 minutes, 95% of customers will stay regardless of additional delays. Order prioritization isn't first come, first served either. Mobile orders from loyalty members with gold status jump ahead in the preparation queue. Your drive-thru order might sit waiting, while 6 mobile orders for rewards members get made first. The store layout itself contributes to delays. Most locations have just 2 drink-making stations, despite serving 3 customer channels. Baristas call these setups rush hour bottlenecks, where efficiency goes to die. While you're waiting for that coffee, the company is busy creating another reason for you to visit. The pumpkin spice latte launched in 2003 and now pulls in over $500 million a year. But what's actually in it? Until 2015, zero real pumpkin. Just a latte with flavored syrup that tasted more like liquid air freshener than fall. The ingredients aren't special. It's cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, ginger. But the marketing is. By limiting the PSL season to 3 months, coffee chains created artificial scarcity. Psychologists call it seasonal exclusivity marketing. The rest of us call it making adults panic buy coffee like it's toilet paper in a pandemic. When PSL season drops, social media erupts, generating 8 billion impressions. Free advertising for Starbucks. Store traffic jumps 37%, with superfans even paying $60 for black market syrup or driving 2 hours for a fix. At this point, PSL isn't just a drink, it's a seasonal identity. And branding beats taste. In blind tests, people rated the same drink 24% better when served in a Starbucks cup. Slap the right logo on dishwater, and it might just taste like dessert. While customers wait 40 minutes for their annual pumpkin fix, spare a thought for the employees behind the counter dealing with the seasonal madness. Who makes your $7 coffee? The average barista earns $13 per hour, while the coffee chain reports profits of $3.3 billion annually. A typical store generates over $700,000 in yearly revenue, yet a full-time barista might earn just $27,000 before taxes. During the morning rush, each employee must prepare approximately 8 drinks every 60 seconds. The pressure creates what industry insiders call barista burnout, with turnover rates reaching 100% at some locations yearly. That means the entire staff quits and gets replaced every 12 months. Healthcare benefits require working at least 20 hours weekly, yet many stores schedule baristas for 19.5 hours to avoid providing them. Schedule changes often come with less than 24 hours notice, making second jobs or childcare nearly impossible to arrange. And those misspelled names on cups, it's rarely accidental. A deliberately misspelled name often ends up on social media, creating free advertising. Internal training materials have been known to suggest creative spelling as a customer connection opportunity. The rudest customers typically arrive between 7 and 9 a.m., ordering elaborate concoctions while complaining about wait times. Many baristas report having drinks thrown at them at least once in their career over minor mistakes. Despite these challenges, most baristas develop a strange physical dependence on something they serve daily. Caffeine dependency is real. A 16-ounce coffee shop brew contains approximately 330 milligrams of caffeine, nearly 4 times the amount in a standard home-brewed cup. No wonder you feel extra alert after drinking it. Brain science explains why you keep coming back. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, preventing the feeling of tiredness. With regular consumption, your brain creates more adenosine receptors to compensate. This means you now need more caffeine just to feel normal. Textbook dependency. Miss your morning fix? Withdrawal symptoms begin within 12 to 24 hours. Headaches, irritability, difficulty concentrating, and even flu-like muscle pain. About 53% of regular coffee chain customers report experiencing withdrawal symptoms when skipping their usual drink. Large coffee chains specifically formulate their roasts to have higher caffeine content than competitors. Testing shows their dark roast contains 22% more caffeine than equivalent coffee shop brands, creating stronger dependency cycles. The most devoted customers develop tolerance levels requiring 2 or 3 drinks daily just to maintain baseline functioning. The body adapts so completely that caffeine no longer provides energy. It merely staves off withdrawal. The addiction cycle ensures repeat business better than any loyalty program. Your brain becomes the most effective marketing tool, sending increasingly urgent prompts to return daily. Many customers attempting to make healthier choices switch to supposedly better options on the menu. Beware of the health halo effect. A skinny vanilla latte still has 13 grams of sugar and artificial sweeteners that fuel cravings. Your body isn't fooled by skinny any more than you are by elastic waistbands. Almond milk sounds healthy until you realize it's mostly water, sugar, and additives, with just 2% actual almonds. Calling it almond milk is like calling a pool ocean water because someone dropped in a seashell. Those protein boxes? The chicken and hummus one packs 620 milligrams of sodium, nearly 30% of your daily limit. The fruit and cheese box? More sugar than protein, making it more of a snack box with good PR. Calorie counts only show the base drink. Extra sugar-free vanilla, 25 calories. Whipped cream, 110th. A light caramel drizzle, another 60. Suddenly, your light refreshment has the calories of a full meal, minus the nutrition. Serving sizes are misleading, too. A tall is actually 12 ounces, 50% bigger than a standard cup. A grande is 2 full servings, but still called medium. It's like when clothing brands made size medium fit people who used to wear large, except only our egos fell for it. And that plant-based breakfast sandwich? Just 30 calories less than the regular one. but with 15 extra ingredients, some with more syllables than your average tongue twister. Even with the most careful menu choices, coffee shops always seem to have one more surprise ingredient you weren't expecting. Think decaf means caffeine-free? Think again. A 16-ounce cup from major chains still has 15 to 30 milligrams of caffeine, about a third of what's in a can of cola. Why? Decaffeination removes, at best, 97% of caffeine. But coffee beans start with so much that even after processing, a noticeable amount remains. FDA rules allow anything under 3% of the original caffeine to be labeled decaffeinated, the regulatory equivalent of close enough. The method matters, too. One common technique uses methylene chloride, a chemical also found in paint strippers. Because nothing says relaxing beverage like something processed with the same stuff that removes wall paint. Drink 3 cups of decaf, and you've basically had a full caffeine coffee. For those with caffeine sensitivities, this hidden dose can trigger exactly what they were trying to avoid. It's like ordering a sugar-free cookie that's just sugar-reduced. And here's the kicker. Decaf costs more to order, even though decaffeinated beans are cheaper to source. Wholesale, they cost 20% less since the process damages flavor compounds. Yet customers pay extra, believing it's a premium option. Only in the coffee business could removing something make a product more expensive. When you've finished your not-quite-decaffeinated coffee, the shop has another trick ready. Limited edition, while supplies last. Get it before it's gone. Coffee chains have turned seasonal drinks into a year-round sales machine, with more special menu periods than regular ones. Each season brings a new must-have. Floral-infused drinks in spring for exactly 6 weeks. Colorful refreshers in summer for 2 months only. The pumpkin takeover in fall, and an entire peppermint lineup in winter. This strategy works. Sales during special menu weeks jump 31%, and limited-time drinks attract 44% more new customers than regular promotions. Scarcity drives demand. Studies show people value limited items up to 3 times higher than identical ones always available. No surprise, then, that coffee chains spend 65% more on advertising seasonal drinks, even with their lower profit margins. And when a drink disappears, demand explodes. The S'mores Frappuccino was discontinued in 2017, sparking 70,000-plus social media complaints. When it returned 2 years later, first-day sales shattered company records. Turns out, nothing sells quite like telling people they can't have it. Creating artificial scarcity works so well that some drinks become legendary simply by being unavailable. Meanwhile, they continue experimenting. Want oat milk instead of dairy? That will be an extra 75 cents. Despite oat milk costing less to produce than cow's milk. This upcharge generates over $200 million annually for major coffee chains. The markup percentage? A staggering 400% above the actual cost difference. It's like charging extra for the privilege of breathing while inside the store. Non-dairy milks have their own issues. Most commercial almond milk contains only 2% almonds. That's not milk. It's water that once waved hello to an almond from across the room. Oat milk often includes added oils and stabilizers. Coconut milk in coffee shops typically comes from a sweetened formula different from what you buy in grocery stores. The inconsistency across locations compounds the problem. Testing revealed that the same non-dairy milk order at different branches of the same chain varied in volume by up to 30%. Some baristas pour generously, others add just enough to legally avoid calling it black coffee. Why do baristas hate steaming almond milk? It separates easily, burns faster than dairy, and creates less microfoam, making those pretty latte designs nearly impossible. It also damages equipment faster. The thin liquid gets into steam wand components and creates residue that's difficult to clean. Ask for extra hot almond milk and watch the barista's soul leave their body. The whole milk used as the default option isn't what you might expect either. Many chains use a higher fat version than standard whole milk, closer to half and half, to create a richer taste that keeps customers coming back. No wonder their regular coffee tastes better than yours at home. They're essentially serving you melted ice cream. The dairy industry provides substantial kickbacks to chains using cow's milk as their default, helping explain why plant-based options always cost extra rather than being offered at equal price. After all this milk talk, maybe you'd rather skip the complicated drink orders altogether and just use the coffee shop for something else, like a quiet place to work. But even that comes at a price. Free Wi-Fi isn't really free when you're essentially paying $7 in coffee fees just to use it. Coffee shops have cleverly transformed into makeshift offices, drawing in remote workers, students, and digital nomads. And they stay, on average, for 2 hours and 14 minutes, taking up space that could have served 8 to 10 regular customers. Why encourage this? Because Wi-Fi users spend an average of $12 per visit versus $4 for grab-and-go customers. The longer people stay, the more likely they buy a second drink or food item. The environment is intentionally designed to be almost comfortable, but not too comfortable. Chairs provide adequate support for about 45 minutes before becoming uncomfortable. Tables are just slightly too small for spreading out work. Music plays at precisely 67 decibels, loud enough to discourage lengthy stays, but not loud enough to prevent work entirely. Power outlets are strategically limited and positioned away from the most comfortable seating. The Wi-Fi mysteriously slows down during peak hours, encouraging table turnover when the shop is busiest. Behind the scenes, data collection happens continuously. The free Wi-Fi tracks devices, creating profiles of visit frequency and duration. This data helps determine optimal staffing and inventory. Despite knowing all these tricks, we still return week after week, proving that sometimes convenience trumps common sense.